Well, for more, let's cross to Belfast and speak to our correspondent, Herve Amoric. Hello to Herve. Tell us just what the people, what the politicians are feeling about another election so soon.
Well, winter is coming, and no one here, not politicians, not voters, want an election in the dark days of December, just to know who is not going to sit on the Iron Throne here behind me. The voters I spoke to this morning are dismayed. They're angry at politicians they're elected in May to deal with bread and butter issues, to deal with the cost of energy, to deal with the cost of living. And instead, they are involved in another arm wrestling on questions of identity. Now, the DUP, who are those in Northern Ireland who want Northern Ireland to remain part of the UK, will not take their 25 seats in the Assembly here behind me. There are 90 seats. If the protocol, which is the Brexit arrangements negotiated by Britain with the EU, are not changed. So although the overwhelming majority of Assembly members want to power sharing government, want to continue and set up this executive, they cannot, under the rules of the Good Friday Agreement, 1998 peace agreement, as long as the largest unionist party refuses to play ball.
Yeah, and Herve, that makes us wonder, where is this all going? Knowing they've already failed to share power and set up a regional government, what's next?
Well, what's next is that you now have 6 weeks for the British government to try and renegotiate some form of a deal on this protocol for Northern Ireland with the EU. Now, there has been no serious negotiations since February, and clearly Northern Ireland is not the priority of Rishi Sunak's government. Now, Chris Hitton-Harris, who is the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland, the British Secretary of State, is about to hold a press conference. But he was in this job before the reshuffle, before Rishi Sunak arrived in power. And in fact, he was supporting Boris Johnson to come back as the new Prime Minister. Now, Chris Hitton-Harris, like ministers, the Conservative ministers and Prime Ministers, I've always said that, Boris Johnson got Brexit done. And in fact, it's its biggest achievement. Well, this thorn in the side of the British government shows that Brexit is everything but done. And now they have 6 weeks to try and negotiate a new deal with the EU. Otherwise, the Democratic Unionist Party will still not play ball after the election.
All right, Herve, thank you very much. Herve Amoric reporting from Belfast.